She is strong, she is beautiful. Her blessings flow, they are plentiful. We stand together in unity, uplifting our community.
All right, we're gonna give everybody a couple of seconds to get logged in.
Not you cut the intro short. I was over here.
No, I'm gonna play it in a second. I'm gonna actually play the music in a second. But I was trying to share. A couple of seconds to. Okay. Okay. All right, and let's play our music.
La da 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 la da. She is strong, she is beautiful. Her blessings flow, they are plentiful. We stand together in unity, uplifting our community, watching our sisters grow. Welcome to the She Is Me show. Welcome to the She Is Me show. Welcome to the She Is Me show. La da la da la da la da la da.
Okay. All right. So we are going to give, 7:32, and give everybody another minute or two to start coming in, and then we'll get started. Okay, and I did share it with some people, so we should have some people coming in soon. See if I can see some comments. Hey, Brian. Yeah, she looked different, don't she?
Just a little, just a little.
That's Brian always saying something.
Oh, yes, always coming with the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
He's so dumb.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a little different, you know, did a little something different today.
You said you did something different today?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started because it's about 7:35. This will be recorded live as well, so if anybody misses it, they can always come back. But I would like to welcome you guys to the season finale of the She Is Me show. We have something a little bit new for you guys. I do have a guest co-host. Amani is here, and you will recognize her voice because she does sing our what is it called? I was about to say reality show. We must supposed to have a reality TV show, but she sings our anthem for the podcast. And I'm actually gonna play that right now, right before we get. But welcome, Amani. Thank you so much for being able to fill in for Ebony. Ebony, we do miss you. But Ebony had some things that she needed to take care of, and so Amani is going to step in to our conversation today. So I am going to play Amani's our She Is Me podcast anthem, and then we'll jump right in to what today's episode is going to be about.
La da 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 la da. She is strong, she is beautiful. Her blessings flow, they are plentiful. We stand together in unity, uplifting our community, watching our sisters grow. Welcome to the She Is Me show. Welcome to the She Is Me show. Welcome to the She Is Me show.
Okay, awesome. And we want to, yes, hi. Oh, thank you. And so we want to thank you, Amani, for being able to fill in. This show is a little different. So if you guys have listened to the podcast, you know we typically pick a topic and we talk about that topic the entire time. In honor of it being our last episode for the season, we're going to do something called Rapid Fire. And so what we've done is we've taken two different topics that are currently happening right now. You probably seen it on social media, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, and we're going to discuss those topics. And we're also going to close the season out with a feel-good story and a letter from one of our listeners. So first, Amani, how are you? How has your week been?
I'm still alive.
Good. Well, that's always a blessing. But we do appreciate you for joining us. So we're gonna jump right in so we can get this show on the road. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first topic, I felt like this was going to be a good topic for you as a mother. So we had a mother out of Jacksonville, Florida. And she was on her 5th child, and she is also a professional doula. Those are both very important details for the story. Essentially, during the birth of her last child, she was forced into having a C-section by the hospital. And what I was about to say that, oh, thank you. And so what the hospital did was they took her to court in the middle while she was laboring, which I didn't even know that was possible. So just imagine being in the hospital bed, having contractions, and the nursing supervisor come and bring you a tablet that is filled with a bunch of strangers, including a judge there. So obviously, right, she felt very exposed. She isn't dressed, she's birthing, and so obviously she has her gown on. And so some things that are important to the story is that she did have 3 prior C-sections, and so she desired her last birth to be a vaginal birth. And so it is the hospital who did not alert her that they were going to go basically behind her back to, get this court injunction. And so what the ultimate ruling is that she could continue laboring, but they did authorize the hospital to perform the surgery without her consent if an emergency arose. What the hospital ended up doing or the outcome is that the doctors claimed in the middle of the night that the baby heart rate dropped and they forced the C-section, which she later described, of course, as feeling like torture and a violation of her rights. And so the first thing we want to talk about is when you hear this story as someone who has now given birth to 2 beautiful boys, what does that make you feel?
So 2 things. I had a C-section for both of my children. The first one was neither one was actually planned, but one I was more keen to or aware of before it happened. The first one was more an emergency situation. I understand, but I don't understand.
Okay.
She's had 5 children. However, things are different for each child.
Mm-hmm.
Your body is different for each child. And I was under the impression that after you've had 2 or 3 C-sections, you had to have a C-section. Well, it really depended on the way that they cut you, is what I was told.
Okay.
It depends on the incision, I should say. Let's use the correct terminology. It depends on the incision that they use when they perform the C-section as to whether or not you can even try to have the baby vaginally the next time. So
I do know it's a hospital policy. So when I was doing a little bit of research, every hospital is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. As someone who has not had any children, it was really hard for me to understand why she would not want the C-section initially. So when I first heard it, I was like, my first instinct would be like, okay, wait a second. Like, if you're in danger or the baby's in danger, like, why wouldn't you want the baby out? But then the more research I did, and just knowing, right, Western medicine, and we're dealing with doctors, sometimes they do things out of convenience. And so the question really is was this a situation where am I laboring too long for you? And you want to kind of, hurry this show up, or was there actually something going on? And so before we get into the second question, I actually want the audience to weigh in on this. So a poll will be up, and basically it just says, let's settle this. What was it really? Is it protection or control? And you guys should have the option to complete the survey so we can also see what you think. And then also please leave comments, because we are also reading the comments out loud as well. And so do you think this situation, the same question we just pretty much asked the audience, do you think this situation was more about protecting the baby or controlling the mother?
So we don't, they always say it's 3 sides to the story. It's your side, my side, and the truth. If the baby's heart rate was actually dropping, I would say that it was protection.
Okay.
If it was not, I would say that it was control.
It was control. Okay. And the crazy thing is that I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that, right?
Right.
Because what I do know from dealing with doctors, and so I've had the same primary care doctor for a really long time, and I'm so sad she retired, but she really was old. But I loved her. She was old, but I loved her because she knows that I know my body, right? And so she trusted me knowing my body. Like, I would come to her and be like, this is wrong, this wrong, this wrong, and this is what it feels like. And most of the time I was actually accurate. So we had built that trust. we had built that trust, and she know, like, Kiana kind of knows what's going on with her body. And so, but that angers some doctors. That angers a lot of hospital staff, because they think that they are the superior in a lot of those situations. And I know what I know because I know. And so I think that sometimes the arrogance that they have can kind of override what the correct thing to do is, and listening and really being an advocate for the patient.
Yeah, like I know someone, they said they were going to the doctors and they were telling them, that they were having certain pains or issues. I don't want to say specifically like with their lady parts, but it took them years. They changed the doctor, and then they ended up having a hysterectomy or a partial. So it was like, I've been complaining about this for years, and now I changed a doctor and they're actually listening. But meanwhile, when I went to my original doctor, all they were saying were, I need to lose weight and I need to fix this and I need to change my eating habits and things like that. But meanwhile, this doctor, like, yeah, we need to get this out of here. So it's like, come on, like.
And it always goes back to lose weight. Like, I had to tell one lady, and I was like, okay, I know I need to lose weight. But that is not what's wrong with me. Everything is not centered around, you just hands down absolutely have to lose weight. And I hate that, because it's like, okay, like, what else? Help me, help me to figure out what's going on. And so we do have some comments. It's usually control. Kamaya says, I believe it's maybe a mixture of both. I'm not a mom, but I believe that most women know and understand their body well. But I do take into consideration that the doctors are licensed to give us the best advice. The best advice.
Yes.
So it's like sometimes they just jump like, oh, this is happening because you're overweight. And so when my doctor was when she was retiring, so I always put you on my business. I've had high blood pressure literally for about 12 months. But if you guys listen to the show, you also know I was going through a separation, and then I went through a divorce. Well, your blood pressure tends to be a little high when all of that is going on. So every time I went to the doctors, it was high. When I first, in the middle towards the end of my separation, is when my doctor actually finally retired. But she had always basically said okay, I know you don't want to be on high blood pressure medication. Let's just track it. Let's see what's going on. I know you have a lot of things going on right now, so it's okay. Well, y'all, that lady retired, and I had to fuss out the next doctor because I had to, and I got to switch too. So that's a whole nother story. But she was like, well, no, we need to give you high blood pressure medicine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling her, ma'am, if you go through a separation and you are stalked, and then you go through a divorce and you're still stalked, your blood pressure going to be high too. I get out my face. The medication comes with more side effects. It has effects of infertility. I don't have no children. Why would you give me a medication? Why would that be the first response? We didn't talk about nutrition. We didn't talk about anything. And so I let her prescribe it, but I purposely did not take it. So what I did was, of course, I changed my diet around a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I started walking a little bit more, and I've been tracking my own blood pressure. And y'all, now every time I've been to the doctors, my blood pressure has been more normal than it was before it started. And so it's when you know yourself and you know what you're capable of doing, or that there's just other options, medication shouldn't be the first option, especially a medicine that's going to have such long-term effects.
Exactly.
So I just, I hated that for her. And I told her, you did not allow me to advocate for myself. And so I cannot see you anymore, because your first response was not for us to find a solution. It was for you to stuff me with medication. No. And so before we get into our first, the doctors often receive kickbacks from pharmaceutical companies. Yes. Not to mention, and we're not even going to go down the whole economy rabbit hole, but because that's a whole different thing. Not to mention that medication is now more expensive than it was. I have a medicine that I typically get, and I don't need it that often, but I get it. And it used to be $1. When I went to get it, it was $10. So no, ma'am, I do not want your medicine. Keep it.
All that stuff is fugazi. It's not real.
Yes.
They giving us stuff that they give animals and things.
Yes. Yeah. And don't give me nothing you give the animals. I want to live just a little bit longer.
Just a little. Okay. I'm not trying to make it the Bible ages, but
So last question for topic number 1. Where do we draw the line between medical advice and forcing a decision? Because I feel like in this case, her hands were tied and she was in a very vulnerable position, and it was forced.
So it's I understand, us having our rights. At the end of the day, it's sometimes the hospital hands are tied too, because they're looking out for the baby.
Yeah.
So it's I honestly don't know. You just have to make sure that you have doctors that you can actually trust. And I know that sometimes, especially when having babies, your doctor technically isn't the doctor on call that day, or the doctor that might respond. But it's just a matter of knowing your team and being able to trust them in a sense when it comes to having babies.
Yeah. So that's why I think that doing your research with what hospital you plan to deliver at, and really just being well versed in all of the doctors that could potentially be on call is important. And I am really an advocate for having a doula. Now I know she clearly, right, was a doula. But I am an advocate for having a doula. I think that they play a very important role, like in speaking up for you when you can't speak up for yourself. I'm really shocked that even though she is one, she did not have one.
Right.
So that shocked me a little bit, but I'm also appalled that they willed the court to her without any legal representation
Yeah. And
on her end.
they weren't trying to even let her contact her lawyer at one point. Like,
No. And I believe she asked for one.
Yeah.
And they basically said that this was an emergency hearing, and so that wasn't a part of her rights, i.e.
So that's like, what would that look like if she had like a power of attorney? Like if someone else had power of attorney, like would they be able to intervene in the court's decision, or like what does that look like?
So I think this hearing was to make the hospital power of attorney. So essentially that's what they were attempting to do, because that's the only way that they can actually be legally able to make that decision for her. It was just a really sad story, and I was sad that was her last experience, because she did state that it was the last baby she was gonna have, and I was sad that it was her last experience.
She don't know that.
What you say?
She don't know whether or not that's her last experience.
I think she was getting her side of money.
Well, then she might as well go ahead and get the C-section done if they already in there. If that's the case, go ahead and get the C-section.
Kamaya said, I kind of want to ask the lady who was delivering, was there any proper communication stating that it was okay for you to deliver vaginally after? Yes, right, like having like a valid birthing plan. Like I am kind of, now of course, you know, the articles not don't share that.
Plan. Like I said, my doctor told me, like, she had to read my chart from when I had William to see whether or not they had, I can't remember the terminology for the specific cut that it is, the specific incision. Like if they cut you in the T, you cannot try vaginal. But if they did it a different way, then you could try. Like, and when I had my last, the doctor came in and she was like, yeah, well, you could labor basically for 2 days and end up still having to get a C-section. I was like, well, baby, we're not about to do all that. Go ahead and get a C-section. I'll see you in a couple hours. So
okay, so you just kind of gave them the okay.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay. Yeah.
You ain't signing up for that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're actually gonna break. We're going to break there, and we're gonna go into our feel good story, because that clearly was a little heavy and it didn't feel good. But I'm actually excited about this story. So there was a group of children, and they literally looked like they were in elementary school. They were in elementary school, and they were out, and they saw something. They showed a picture of it, but it looked to be, I guess, what they considered something very scary, like maybe a symbol or something of that nature. And what they said was that they were afraid of it. So what they did was they ran to the pastor's house. So there's a pastor in the neighborhood, and they thought she was home. She wasn't home. However, she did, speak to them via her Ring camera, and they asked her to pray for them. And I thought that was so cool, because you have children, right? Now, as adults, think about it. We get into a little tizzy, we see something a little scary in life, and clearly we don't know where to run to, right? However, you have children that are elementary school aged children, and their first instinct was, I'm not going home, I'm not going to go tell my mama, I ain't got to go back in, but I need to know if this lady that I clearly trust in our neighborhood can pray for us. Now, she wasn't home, so she did pray for them via her Ring camera, and they actually went back the very next day for her to pray for them. But the story, I enjoyed the story, or it kind of made my heart feel good, because it let me know that, one, they found a safe space that they felt like they could go to. But then also it was really just a reminder that children really do pay attention. They pay attention to the things that goes, that's going on around them.
Yes.
And so did you want to add anything to the story?
Yes. Even the conversation that they had while they were deciding on whether or not they wanted to pray that day or the next day.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them were like, no, I want to pray now. We're going to pray right now, today. I loved it. And I even loved how they were saying, I just love Pastor. She's just so great. Like,
Yes.
those types of conversations are things that we need to have with our children or around our children so that way they can hear those types of conversations. They're so used to hearing negativity and
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans that hearing this and seeing this was really like, yes, okay, baby, yes.
Yeah, and that's like, it was so cool because it's like these are boys can go one or two. They could go one or two ways. I don't know. And it starts at such a very young age for them. And so to see them very committed to their beliefs and what they desire, and they know what they know that they want, to me, that just was like, okay, your parents are really doing a really good job. But then you also have that support from the neighborhood, and you guys felt really comfortable. So that really was a really good feel-good story.
It really shows her character.
Yes. And I pray that she is extremely blessed, and that her ministry gets everything, that they need and desire, because it seems like she's doing a really good work in her community.
Absolutely.
So our last topic. Okay. So this one's a little funny, fun, lighthearted. So hopefully you guys are familiar with Trick Daddy, the rapper.
I hope y'all know.
And so essentially, because he dragged this out. So the very long story short is he was booked to weirdly play at an AKA's events.
Mm-hmm.
And through being booked, for the AKA events, he's up there performing. Mm-hmm. While he is performing, he, I guess, is performing his songs, which are very vulgar. They shut his music off, turn his mic off, and basically they shut down the performance. That's very long story short of what happened. And so multiple things ran through my mind when I heard that story. One, have they never heard Trick Daddy? So I had to do some research, because if you're saying that his words were too vulgar, do you not know who you booked? Because I can't think of any of his songs I can't think of one song that's not vulgar.
But get a song, I can't think of a line in any of his songs. Yes, when he said, you can't give me no please, this ain't your wedding, I felt out.
Tiana, I was crying. I was like, first of all, I was just really in a state of shock that they would even book this man to do anything. Like, what did you think? And so that had me do some research, right? Because I was so curious. Yes. So I needed to know who booked him. Like, was it an older person that maybe just had never heard of him? But no, it wasn't. Right. And so they claim, right? Their statement claims that there was an agreement, that they gave him a set list of songs he could do. He said that did not exist and that he would never sign such agreement. And so the question is, who do you believe? Because I'm having a really hard time believing the AKAs. Please don't hurt me in the comments. I believe that there was maybe a miscommunication between the level or the class of the type of event that it would be and who booked it. Maybe this was all they could afford. I don't know. But what I do,
not this all they could afford. Jesus.
I'm having a hard he was on the stage pumping. Whatever. He's like, he was gyrating. He's almost 60. So I just have a hard time believing that they didn't know that that's how that would happen.
And they had Uncle Lee. they had Uncle Luke in there performing, and they were up there like, I said, oh, okay, all right. Y'all getting looked at that, but Trick Daddy about to sing about the same stuff, and y'all booed him and got up and started walking out. I was confusion.
And I'm like, and so, when you even look at his persona, I don't know the man. I never met him in real life, but he does reality TV show. And so that, gives you insight on some of his life, right? Because what you show is, that's clearly who you are. You want the world to see this. He don't have no class. Like,
No.
I'm just going to say it. There is no class that exists.
Now she said I would have booked Carrie Hilson for Pretty Girl Rock.
Yeah, but listen, and Carrie probably would not have been a pretty penny, she don't have that. It's just because I'm not saying it like that, Amani.
She would have been cheaper than Trick.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying because she's not an amazing artist, she just don't have any new music that would prompt her to be able to charge so much money. So I just don't know. I blame them because I don't know. I don't know what they were expecting.
I really want to know what the conversation was. So before she even booked this man, like, it has to be a board, especially for the status that AKAs have. Like, there had to be some sort of board, some sort of conversation. Like, what was the conversation? Was the conversation Yeah, I'm gonna give him specific songs, and they thought they were gonna run it because they think I'm gonna stop. Mm-hmm. But did they think that they were just gonna control him? I didn't.
But here's the thing: when someone shows you, because that man is not controllable, he is not controllable on live TV. So I know that they could not have possibly thought that they could control him. So are y'all trying to? Maybe they were trying to sabotage their event. I just can't imagine a world where they thought that was going to go well.
Maybe their ticket sales were low, so they said, if we invite Trick Daddy, then that'll get us out more, or will make it seem like it was him. He was the reason why our ticket sales were low. So, listen, they don't even stroll.
They can't even stroll to Trick Daddy. Oh, y'all got me knocking over the table. So yeah, I hated that for them. I did. And to try to blame him, to me, was just horrible. So the next question is, should artists, because regardless of what I think about him, he is an artist, a recording artist. Should artists ever have to tone it down depending on the venue? Not. Is it okay for the person who booked them to have expectations of language, attire, songs, things of that nature?
No. If you hire me, you know what you are getting. Like, you hire Trick Daddy, you know what you are getting. That's not, you want him to come in there in a fresh tux with the bird tail, and no, and you want him to sing Jesus is Real? That's not gonna happen.
Well, okay, go back. Did you see what he even had on?
Something
he had on jeans.
That's what
he had on jeans and a t-shirt.
That's what he normally wear. Even in his restaurant, that's what that man wear.
I would not even invite him to my wedding, like to perform at my wedding. And apparently, according to him, that's the only way he would have toned it down.
No, he can come.
My stomach was hurting. You got this man. He has got to be in his 60s. He was gyrating on that stage. And I just didn't know. I would have been disgusted at the... I know the older women was like, what did y'all do? Like, we did not raise y'all like this.
He should have known better. I do agree that it can be toned down. However, Trick Daddy that's like, okay, it's a difference in saying, okay, Trick Daddy and Da Brat. Those are two different things.
Okay.
They are both rappers. However, they carry themselves in different ways.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect Trick Daddy to come in there and see. If I say, if I'm looking for a high class event, Da Brat, I would say, okay, I know that she can do this X, Y, and Z. Meet the expectations, do what I need done. But I would not, if I know what type of event I'm trying to have and I want it to be and look a certain way, you don't hire or ask certain people to be there.
No, I agree. Deanna said, as a former rap artist, I can tell you it's possible to tone down, especially when the price and opportunity is right. But it's usually a mutually beneficial setup. I agree. The thing is that I don't think he would have, I don't think he agreed, and I don't think he would have ever agreed to tone it down. So the cleanup that they are attempting to do, to me, is a little off, because I think that they're lying. I don't think that man ever told them, I'm not gonna cuss, I'm not gonna gyrate across this.
I'm not gonna gyrate.
I'm not gonna gyrate across this stage. As a matter of fact, I would, if they would have given him the time, space, opportunity, I'm sure he would have jumped off of the
jumped not jumping off for nothing. He too old. Them knees he'd have been in the floor. He'd have been down, okay, out for the count. They would have been calling, as my grandfather say, the ice cream truck, okay? He wouldn't have been jumping off for nothing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So nonetheless, I think it is the consensus seems to be that the AKAs messed up.
I'm gonna say that I think that this has made some people look at AKAs in a negative light.
Okay.
Especially, but I will tell you, they have probably made Trick's streaming go up. His streaming numbers have probably skyrocketed because now everybody is like, who didn't know who he was before. Now they're like, but let me listen to him. So now people are listening to Trick, and then they like, well, this is like what we listen to now. So we were.
Oh, let's go back and let's rerun some of his stuff.
Y'all gonna see him on a TikTok in one of his songs on TikTok in the next couple of weeks. Watch.
Oh my God. And then they're gonna have a whole dance. So I just hope they're not gyrating. I can't handle that on TikTok.
That's all they used to do to it back then. What you think they're gonna do to it now?
Lord. I can't get him out my head. You know how there's certain pictures that's stuck in your head. He is like every time I think about this, he is like engraved in my mind. And we actually have Ebony to thank for that, because she thought the story was hilarious.
I'm crying. It is. It's very hilarious. I can hear her laughing. That's so funny. Like I can hear her.
You can hear her laughing.
Like
Deanna said, "I'm with you, Trick Daddy." They lying.
Yes.
He said he hooked up. Yeah, you gotta pay me, because I'm sure that was a contract. So I know you don't think you're gonna end my set, but I'm gonna walk away with no money. No, he got a free. He basically got paid to do nothing. The last thing that I'm going to bring up before we do our last segment, I'm actually really excited about this letter to see what your advice is. But the last thing that did come across my desk very last minute was there was an incident at a Chris Brown concert. So we all know that Chris Brown is famous for taking the, really like provocative pictures with his people when they pay for that. But he pulled a lady up on stage. She apparently licked his face. He then in return tongue kissed her. Her husband was in the audience. And so now this debate is like, did she take it too far with her husband being in the audience, or did she take it too far, period?
Okay, first thing first. Her man know her, okay? Let's start there. And if he did, he learned something new that night, okay? You're not about to catch me looking on nobody's face with Mr. Anthony. I'm not sure. Okay, let's be clear.
First of all, okay, so even with me, all right, y'all know, like, I'm pretty much like the newly one dating, right? First of all, let me tell you, why are you laughing, Amani?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't kiss me. Like, ask for permission. It's so many
face. You don't think that you look at somebody's face, it's permission to kiss you?
I mean, yes, but I'm just saying, why are you going around kissing strangers? Do you know?
Why are you looking from kissing people?
Why you? I don't know. Like, and think about it. This man is an artist, and he is known for sleeping around with women.
Well, that's why she shouldn't lick that man's face.
That's what you want to kiss. That's what you want to lick. I was just like, my stomach was hurting, because when I think about people just touching me or coming so close to me when I don't know them, I get like a lot of stress. And I'm all like stranger danger. Like, you really gotta coach. Like, you have to, even when you're trying to hold my hand, like, and I know this is probably just bad, but when you're trying to hold my hand, you have to like, you gotta build up to that moment. Like, I have to feel comfortable because I don't like people touching me. So I just thought it was crazy that she was okay with licking a man's face that has probably had his face licked multiple times throughout this entire.
I had his face licked before he got on that stage.
Oh,
so let me say this: she's really not bluffing about having to have She need a conversation before you touch her hand. Okay, like y'all gotta talk. I want to hold your hand, and I want to hold your hand. We're gonna do this. She needs a conversation. That she's not bluffing. That's her for real, okay?
Not you giving the display. Are you giving the date? Are you selling me on the live show like Ebony do?
I'm about to say, man, Ebony, we here.
That's crazy.
Working it out. Yeah, so she's being dead serious. Now, thank you, sister. He has been, one of them, I'll say. Since back then, probably even before Take Me Down, okay? Even before Take You Down, okay? You go up there on that stage, you know what time it is. And then you lick that man's face, you were ready.
She was. And she did not want her spouse. He didn't know. He ain't know. They said he was in the audience crying, y'all.
And especially because he was there. Oh, she was disrespectful. I could never. No.
That was sad. And I don't know who raised her.
Oh,
but let me I sound like a 50-year-old woman. Let me just say this. If you want to date me, don't just hold my hand. Don't touch me. Don't touch me without permission, please, because I freak out inside and then the date will be over.
But look at somebody's face is really wild. Like, why would you? Why? Okay, first off, he probably bought the tickets. That's probably why she didn't.
I'm sure he probably surprised her.
Right. Let's start there. However, Karma, when you got up there on that stage, your hand should have been.
I'm just here. I got picked.
But you had to stick your tongue out of your mouth. Okay. It'd have been something different if it was an accident, like no, like you stick your tongue out and look at that man. You look at him like you about to eat a piece of chicken or something like that. Don't do that.
But he tongue kissed her. They tongue kissed after that.
She shouldn't have licked him. Shouldn't have licked him.
Okay, so I guess the consensus is
she was wrong.
Don't go licking strangers. And I hope that that's something that they could get through in their marriage. But the advice from the She Is Me show is don't lick that man, even if he is a celebrity.
She said, "Happy birthday, I'm not going on stage." Listen, I'm not going to say I'm not going to go up there, and I love my baby, but I'm not going to lick you.
Right, but it's like you like. I'm not disrespecting myself, and I ain't going to disrespect you, and I'm not going to disrespect our marriage. You can have fun. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you can have fun with Chris Brown because I think that might happen a little fast. You going to shout?
Take the spirit of the devil down. Get the whole door.
He will be like, "Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for coming up."
Be like, you need to be out.
As a matter of fact, escort her out of the arena.
Not even back to her seat, okay?
You need to leave the arena. I can see you now at the ticket office trying to get your money back.
No, sir. I paid $75.64 and I need my money now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's get ready to join the conversation. The conversation is a segment, guys, that we do where anyone can send us emails. So you email us at sheismex2@gmail.com. And anything that you would like advice on is what you can shoot in an email. And we've actually got some really good ones this season. So let's see what we got for today.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
Yeah.
I'm such a kid. I love that.
Yes.
All right. So it says, Dear She Is Me Show, I've been watching your show all season and I feel like every episode has been speaking to me in some way. But now I feel like I need real advice. I'm in a place in my life where I know I've outgrown certain things and certain people. And one of those people is someone I once thought I was going to spend my life with. Ooh, welcome to the club, girl. We're not officially, we're not officially together anymore, but we're not fully apart either. We still talk, we still check on each other, and if I'm being honest, I still love him. Oh, she on her own. But I also feel like I'm evolving. I'm seeing things differently. I'm starting to realize what I deserve, and I don't know if what we have or had aligns with the woman I'm becoming. The hard part is he's not a bad person. There's no big breakup story, no cheating, no major issue. It's just something feels off. And I don't know if I'm supposed to fight for this or finally let it go. Part of me is scared that I'm walking away from something that could still work. And another part of me feels like I'm staying, might be me settling out of comfort or history. So I want to ask you both. How do you know when it's time to fully let go of someone you still love? And how do you trust that choosing yourself isn't a mistake? Signed, a listener who's stuck between love and growth. Well, the first thing I have to remind everyone is here at the She Is Me Show, we are not licensed. We are purely giving our advice. And you can take that advice or you could leave that advice. But this is our show, the She Is Me Show. And so we can say what we want. So Amani, you could go first. Do you want to give a listener who's stuck between love and growth any advice?
So it's funny that we're doing this today. Today I would have been married 10 years. My first husband. We have been divorced since 2020, and I have since remarried and had another child. I was definitely where you are. There were instances that made me want to actually file. However, it's always important to choose yourself first. You have to choose yourself first. No one else is going to choose you for you. You have to choose yourself first. That's first and foremost. Well, that's the first thing. The second thing is, have you had this conversation with him? So if you have not had the conversation with him, or if you are not willing to have the conversation with him, that automatically lets you know that it's not a go. Because if you can't have a conversation, you're not even thinking about or willing to even have a conversation, pointless. If I can't communicate with you, why are you here? And then the last thing would be, you are changing. Is he changing as well? Or is it just a you thing? So if you are both not evolving, you are both not changing for the better. And I'm not saying that the change has to happen right now. I'm saying over time, like, is he setting himself up to be greater? Is he setting himself up to do more and be more? Does he have ambitions? So if not, arrivederci, adios, whatever else, in any other language or no. So, but yeah, so you have to choose yourself. Are you even willing to have the conversation? And is he trying to do any changes? Those are my three quick nuggets.
I think that as someone who is recently divorced, and I had, prior to the separation and the divorce, I did have multiple opportunities where I could have chosen myself. My advice, honestly, really would be to choose yourself every time, because choosing yourself has to make you happy. And when you choose someone else, just because, you feel like either A, it makes them happy, or B, it's what you're used to, you're also doing that person a disservice. So I do agree with having the conversation, because communication is incredibly important. But you got to be happy. First of all, the way things are going, we really don't even know how much longer, like, you don't know how long you're going to even live. Like, and I'm not trying to be morbid. Y'all know I can get pretty dark, but the reality is you don't know what's going to happen, between today and tomorrow, or whatever. And so the truth is that you need to be I want to be the happiest version of myself. And the happiest version of myself was not staying in my marriage. And even though it was something I had to recover from, like, you know, I actually have not been happy, you know, happier. And so I would just say choose yourself, no matter what that looks like. And when you choose yourself authentically, you can never make a mistake.
Nope.
It's not a mistake, because regardless, whether you never find love again, right? You got to be happy with yourself. So you should always be in a state of being okay with every decision that you made.
Yes.
So yes, so that concludes today's episode. We will have a short break in between seasons. And so if you guys have letters that you want to send us during this break, you can actually email sheismex2@gmail.com. If you find any feel-good stories, please send them to us, because we can always talk about them at any time. If you just want to check in on us and say, hey, what's going on? How are you? Please do. And also, all of our old episodes are actually already everywhere you can listen to podcasts. So that's Pandora Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all of the things. And we're actually currently working on adding all of the old episodes to YouTube, other than our live. And yes, on to the next, but always love yourself first. Absolutely. But Amani, I said we, like I've been here, but I'm going to speak for both of us. We want to thank you so much for filling in tonight. We talk all the time, but it was a blast to get to introduce you to everybody who listens to our podcast. Amani listens, and she, is always giving us feedback on the show. So it was so nice to actually have you on the show.
Yes. Yeah, so thankful.
Thank you. Very well done, ladies. How will we know when the next season will begin? So if you follow, and I'll repost it on my personal page too, but if you follow our Facebook page, She Is Me X2, we actually post when the next season. What'd you say, Amani?
Instagram.
Yep, and Instagram. So She Is Me X2 on Facebook and Instagram. I know, and then also the reason why we kind of want to switch over to YouTube as well is because YouTube sends out notifications. So once you subscribe to our YouTube channel, it actually will notify you via email when there's a live show coming up or when anything is posted. So if you have not subscribed, please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. There we go. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And until next time.
Welcome to the She Is Me show. Welcome to the She Is Me